Welcome to the mileage tracker build along. This is part 2. So hopefully you have part 1 filled out, and maybe you did some of the homework that I talked about last time. But if you didn't, that's okay. We're going to kind of go back and finish those homework assignments up. There is a link here you can go to see the Google Doc that I shared with everybody. And that's kind of the documentation we're working on to build the app. Today's agenda, just an introduction first. That's what we're doing now. Oh, this is not the right one. Number 2 and number 3 are not correct. We're actually going to be building out our app. This was a copy of the other one, which is fine. At the end, wrap up and surprise. We got a discount code for you guys to use if you're going to purchase anything from saasguru in the future. A little bit about me. I was a teacher for 12 years, found out about Salesforce about 3.5 years ago. Took me over a year to get certified. I've been working in my first Salesforce role for 14 months now. And in those 14 months, I've earned 5 more certifications. So now I'm 6X certified. Now a little bit about saasguru. saasguru is a exam prep program that I've used a couple times actually successfully to earn some certifications. It's very cool because it tailors based on your practice exam. The first thing you do is take the practice exam of whatever you're studying, and then it scores the different segments of how strong you are for each one, and it kind of tailors your study program from there. They're all short, summarized lessons. I think the longest I've seen that I've gone through so far is like maybe 10 minutes. It's gamified as well. There's study groups. It nudges you, it reminds you of to keep studying. And oops, sorry about that. It's also community powered, and that's like the biggest thing for me. I think that's the most helpful. Their Slack channel is over 7,000, maybe even 8,000 strong now. And then it's divided up into each different certification. There's a different channel for each one where you can ask specific questions based on which certification you're going for, any problems you're just having with maybe Salesforce in general. There's live classes, which is kind of what we're doing now. There's mentoring available where you can get one-on-one sessions with the gurus. They also have projects, and ultimately the goal is the career, or eventually you could work for saasguru too and become one of the gurus. saasguru helps supercharge your Salesforce certification process. Standalone, you might be able to pass a certification with it, but you definitely need to do learning on Trailhead as well to get that hands-on experience. I'd say, especially for the Salesforce admin certification, you would definitely need that, and probably all the other ones as well, because without that hands-on experience, yeah, you might memorize the knowledge, but you wouldn't be able to apply it necessarily. And I do like the practice test at the beginning part where it sets your benchmark. It personalizes your training program. And then the revised part, they have, man, I think it's like over 200 like flashcards for each certification that you can learn. And then obviously there's the practice in there as well. And then the mentorship available. The ultimate goal is to get you guys certified. All right. Being part of the community is very powerful. They do hackathons where you can win a certification voucher. They have blog posts and updates with product tips and updates, live classes and webinars just like this one, and then 24/7 help from the gurus, and that's on the Slack channel. There's people all over the world, Australia, the US, Dubai, Europe. So there's someone on and available to help at all times. And when you join the Slack community, that's the first thing I did was join that. And I was there pretty early on. but it has grown exponentially over the past few months. They're also on LinkedIn, and you can find them on Facebook as well. Google Doc, that kind of links to all the other Google Docs. So each one of these will send you to a different Google Doc. In the first session, we did do everything in this Create the Mile Tracker app. We did half of this one. So if you guys want to open this one up to get started, that'd be great. And then we also did some of this as well. So we'll kind of try to wrap up the build an object model. We'll touch on some of this. And the question was, why are these not hyperlinked? They're not hyperlinked yet because I have not finished typing up all the details in them and getting all the screenshots, essentially. So I'm slowly getting through that. This one is about halfway done. This one's really easy. We can figure that on our own pretty much. Your dev org up and ready. This is kind of where we left off. We have runners and mile entries in our app. Okay, and then if we go to, this is our main page, build the object model. So last time we did runner, the runner custom object, and the mile entry custom object. So hopefully you have those as well. Today we're going to build the badge custom object and the awarded badge junction object, actually, because it's going to connect the badges with the runners. Okay, so this is kind of towards the top of the page, but if you scroll down to, let's see, mile entry custom object, right below that one, badges custom object, this is where we're going to start. Okay. Oh, one of our last. Okay, so there's a typo there. All right, so we're going to build in Object Manager a object named badge with the plural name badges, and then a record name is just badge name. Okay, so we're going to start there. So in Object Manager, you can click Create Custom Object. And then let's just fill that out. So you can see it's saved in my computer because I've done this multiple times. So badge, badges, and it'll fill this one in automatically. This one, this is just basically going to store the name and the image of our badge. So we don't really need a whole lot of stuff. We don't really need to report on these because we would want to report on the badges we gave out to people that we awarded. So we don't really need to do anything with this. Okay, so we're going to leave that blank. You could allow search on it. So you can search the different badges just to find it easier. We don't really need notes or attachments, but I am going to click the launch a new custom tab wizard in case you wanted to have the badges available, the little tab, so you can make a new badge if you wanted. So let's click that and it should take us to the custom wizard. And you can pick whatever thing you want. I think there's like a trophy or something, or a treasure chest. I'm gonna do treasure chest and then click next. Allow everyone to see it. Not gonna change that. Include tab on everything. On this, I would probably just put it on the mileage tracker app, just because I don't need it cluttering up anything else. And there's actually a object already named badge in Salesforce. So it gets kind of tricky sometimes to know which one is which. But I didn't want to use that one because it had a whole bunch of other fields on it. All right. So it says check allow reports, but not totally necessary. I don't think we're ever going to report on that, because all it would do is give us a list of badges anyway. All right, so what we need to do is add our custom fields on there. And we're going to add the milestone field first. So the badges are kind of like, the one I've done is a 5K badge, a 10-mile badge, a 25-mile badge, a 50-mile badge, and then a 100-mile badge. So I only made 5, but you can make more if you wanted, less if you wanted. But those are kind of like milestones that people pass when they're running and different lengths of races that they do. So we're going to do a number field with the name milestone. So back in setup, fields in relationship. Yeah, we already have the badge name. And it's text. So we're just going to pick a number field. The length, I don't know, I'm going to just say 5, and you're never going to go that high decimal places. I'm going to put 1. You can do 1 or 2. I don't think you'd give a milestone at like a 2 decimal place achievement, but it's up to you. And this we always want this on here. So we're going to mark it required. Unique, not necessarily, you don't need it because you're not going to have a ton of badges anyway. But if I did choose unique, that would give me only 1 badge at 10 miles, 1 badge at 25. So, I mean, it wouldn't hurt if you click that, but not totally necessary. Allow everyone to see it, add it to the badge layout. All right, so we have our milestone. All right, so that's pretty much all we need for now. We are going to come back and add an image formula, which can be tricky at times. We just don't have the time today to add it, okay? Awarded badge, custom object. So let's go back to Object Manager. This is going to be our junction object between the runner and the badge, okay? So we're going to name it awarded badge with awarded badges and the record name, awarded badge name, okay? This one we do want to allow reports and allow search. And let's just get that far now. And we only have to add 2 fields to this one. All right, so we're going to go awarded badge. And you can see awarded badges is our plural. It does start with a vowel sound. We're going to check that box. You can add a description here. You can say badges awarded to runners and they reach a milestone distance. Okay, so when they reach the 3.1 miles, okay, do they get a badge? Which is the 5K. When they reach 10 miles, they get a badge. Okay. It's going to be awarded badge name, which is fine. Text, allow reports, and allow search. And we are going to launch the custom tab wizard after this as well. All right. So again, we're going to choose whatever image we want on here. It's going to do a star. Click next. Keep all of this as the default. On here, again, I don't want to add it to everything and clutter everything up. I just want to add it to our mile tracker app. So I'm only going to check that box and click save. All right. So we have our awarded badge object created. And from here, pretty simple. All right. We are going to add the runner field. So when you give the badge, when you award a badge, you need to know who you're giving it to. Okay. So we're going to do a master detail relationship to the runner object. And we're going to name it, the field name, just runner. Okay, so pretty simple. So in fields in relationship, we're going to click new. And here you want to choose master detail relationship. So we're choosing master detail relationship because it's going to link up the badge and the runner. And if we delete the runner, all the badges that they were awarded will also get deleted. And if we delete the badge, all the badges of that type that were awarded will get deleted as well. Okay. So choose master detail relationship, click next. And we're going to relate it to runner. Click next again. Field name, just leave it runner. You can add a description here. Person who is awarded the badge. All right. Going to click next. Visible to everyone. And put it on the layout. And this is going to add a related list to the runner layout. So if we look at a runner now, we'll see a little related list to see what badges they've earned, which is nice. And I'm going to click save and new because we're going to do the other master detail relationship. All right, so now we're going to add the badge field. So we're going to do exactly the same thing, except now we're going to name it badge. Okay. I believe it should default to badge here. Or when we select badge, it'll default over, which is good. So we're creating another master detail relationship. Click next. Find badge. So badge here. I want to make sure there's not two of them. Okay. I'm going to click next. Field label defaulted. Add the field name badge as well. And I'm just going to say the badge awarded to the runner. All right. And then I'm going to click next. Next. We're going to add the badge related list to the awarded badge pages is what we're doing here. And now we're going to put the awarded badges related list on the badge pages here. And we're going to click save. All right. So we have our new custom objects. Let's add them to the mileage tracker app, which we might have already done. We already did this because we use the tab wizard, but let's take a look and double check. So here's what it was before. If I refresh, should have two more tabs up here. Since we already added those, yep. All right, but let's say we didn't. If we didn't add those, all you would do is go to tabs. You'd click new here. And any objects that don't have a badge already would show up in this list. Okay. And then you just choose the icon, choose the apps you want to add it to. Okay. Pretty simple. All right. So I think we're done. We can skip that part. All right. I do want to go back. Let's take a peek here. Okay, so we don't have the image. I want to get you guys the image field on the badges. Okay, that's going to make this look a lot cooler at this point. So I do want to get that to you guys today. Let's see. I need to go to this one. All right, so I'm going to show you. This is my original built out one. I'm going to show you what this kind of looks like. And I'm going to show you how to do the images. And we're going to create, I think, two fields, 2 or 3 fields for this. So if I go to a badge, I only have one in here. Oh no, that's recently viewed. I have a few in here, but let's take a look. So I have the badge name, and this is going to take a little bit of work to do, but we can build behind the scenes what these look like here. Okay. And we have our milestone already as well. But the idea is to put this image on the awarded badge so then they can see it on their related list. Okay. So let's go behind the scenes here. And what you're going to do is go to your badge object. Go to your badge object, and then we'll follow along here. What we have to put in here. All right, let's go edit object. Really want to show you this part because this is kind of the whole thing. Gamify it, make it fun. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to create this field, the badge image field. Okay. So you guys will click new. All right, let's see. So when you do this, you're going to click new, and it's actually a formula. So you're going to click formula here. Next. And it is actually a text formula. Okay. I'm going to go back. And I'm going to throw this in the chat to be your formula. Okay. All right. Ooh, actually, we don't have the image link field. Okay, so instead of image link, okay, for now, just throw a random field in there. Actually, you might get an error for that. Shoot. Okay, so we're going to say you get an error for that. So we actually need to build our image link field first. Okay, sorry about that, guys. All right. So if you could save it, that's great. If not, no big deal. We'll come back to it. We're going to build a text area field and call it badge image link. Okay, so I will actually go back and do it with you. So you're going to click new, text area, just because we need it long enough to hold like a URL. Badge image link. Okay, we can leave everything else blank. I already have one, which is fine. It's just a text field, just next, get it through. And then once we have that built out, then we can build our formula. Okay. So can you guys throw in the chat if you're ready to build the badge image formula? Just say yes or no. Let's have a couple people. Yes, all right. Okay, so we have our badge image formula. We have the link, and we have the name, and everything else we should already have. Okay. So again, when you build this out, you want to click formula field, text version. Okay. Formula field, text version. And I'm going to post this back in the chat. So on the image function, it has to be a URL here. That's kind of what's going to get input. You could hard code a URL if you wanted to. But I chose to do it this way. So if I upload a new picture of my badge into Salesforce, this will change automatically. All I have to do is change the URL on the badge, and this will change automatically. I don't have to dive in here and change this. And this is going to be the name, the name of the badge. And these last two here, this is the size of your image. So it's 100 by 100. So that's like 100 pixels by 100 pixels. And I mean, you can mess around with it a little bit if you want it bigger or smaller. I just didn't want it too big on the screen. So you can adjust the size of your image. But I thought that small little square size image was perfect for what we're doing. Okay. So hopefully you guys are done with that. Now we don't have any badges though. That's the thing. And this is kind of a tricky part. What you have to do is you have to upload them into files. And I'm going to give you guys a page here on the main page here. If you click this link, it is a folder in Google Drive, and I gave you all of my images I used. Okay. And basically what we have to do is you want to download these to your computer, and we can just do one of them. Okay. It's really slow. So if you download it to your computer, we have to upload it into files in Salesforce. Okay. So I have it downloaded. You can do one of them. You can do all of them. I'm just going to do the 5K badge one today to show you guys. And if I get back here, Actually, I'm going to show you this one. So I already have this, but I'm going to upload it again and change it for you guys. So if you just search files, okay, you probably won't have a ton of stuff here. And then click upload files. You're gonna have to do this with any badge you choose. So I can see here's my 5K badge. I'm going to choose that. Click open. And it's this very top one here. Let's see, I'm gonna click public link. Oh, no, that's not it. Let's open it. Okay, so it is create public link. Okay, just click create, and it's going to give you this long like URL. You're going to copy that. And then when you go back to your badge, this will be blank right now. When you go back to your badge, I'm going to erase this. I'm going to paste my new link in here. Okay, let's see if that works. Click save. Okay, busted. Shoot. Okay. All right. I apologize, guys. We'll get back to this next week. I don't want to delay us any further. But at least we have that built out. And if you guys want to do that as homework, figure out what the badge should be, what the link should be, that'd be great. If not, I'll get back to it next week. All right. So without delaying us any further, we finished up our custom objects, which is great. And we added it to our app. So we can actually close this page out. We already created the app. So we need to add our progress bar. It's kind of where we left off with the other day. On this third page. Okay, we already did the roll-up summary field, so we can total up our miles, which is great. And then we created some mileage entries. And the progress bar we did not get to. Okay. So we're going to go to the runner object. And we actually need to create record types first in order to add the path. Okay. So let's get back here. Object manager, runner. Okay. On the runner object, go to record types. And we have to click new. Okay. Let's take a look. We're just going to label it runner. Keep the active checkbox marked and make available checkbox checked. So we'll just name it runner. Okay, keep that checked. Make available checked because we want this open for everybody. Click next. Runner layout, that's the only one we have right now, so we're not going to change that. And click. All right, and you can see we have our pick list that we're going to actually use to make our progress bar. Okay. Next thing we need to do is create a path. So in setup, we're going to search for path and click on path settings. Okay. And we're going to have to click enable to enable paths if we haven't done that already. So back here in the search path, click on path settings. Okay, this is a newer org. So I'm going to click enable. And then I'm going to click new path. All right. So we're going to name it runner progress on the runner object. And then we have to pick our record type and our pick list, which should be the only two options on there. So runner progress, that should autofill. I'm going to go to the runner object. Okay. And we want to choose runner. And then progress is the only one available here. It's our only pick list. And then you're going to click next. All right. So here, this shows us all our different values for our pick list, and we're going to keep them all. We're going to keep them all on there, which is what we want. All right. You can leave the field sections blank for each step on the path, but I like to add some guidance or encouragement at the 50-mile mark and at the 100-mile mark. So I'm actually going to copy and paste some Bon Jovi lyrics for the 50-mile. So the guidance for success, you can just type in whatever you want here as rich text. This is the first value, so they just started. And if you guys wanted to, you could add stuff all along the way. I kind of like it at the 50 mark. I'm adding this that they can see, and this will kind of pop up on the path when they get there. And then also at the 100-mile, that's kind of like our goal is to get 100 miles. So a little congratulations. I'm going to copy and paste that, thanking Bon Jovi for the motivation. So once you add your encouragement and words you want to do on whichever mile markers you're in progress, values that you're going to add encouragement to, you just click next. Activate your path. That's very important. Enable celebrations. Okay, I'm going to enable celebrations when they get to 100. The only thing is these don't work like 100% of the time in 100% of the ways when it gets updated. But it's worth turning on every once in a while. I always put always, just because I want everyone to get it. But it's just something Salesforce hasn't figured out. But there are some other apps out there that do confetti that work a little bit better. All right, our path is created. That's great. Now we have to add it to the page. All right, so what I'm going to do is go to my mileage tracker app and just go to any runner record. This is just a little shorter way to get there. So if I go to a runner record, and then I'm going to click the setup gear up here. Oops. And click edit page. This will take me to the lightning page, and it'll create their lightning page for me if I don't have one built already. Okay, so this is a little shortcut to do. All right, so it's called runner record page, which is perfect. That's what I want. Okay, and it shows me what I have on the page right now. Okay, not a whole lot, right? So what we want to do is we're going to drag the path component from over here, the left side of the screen, underneath our our top bar up there where the runner's name is, the highlights panel. Okay. So on the side here, you'll see path. Drag it up here. And this is going to be our little like progress bar. Format linear. Okay, runner progress. All right. Assign as org default. Next and save. Let's see what options that we want linear. Okay. Let's see where this takes me. We already set up the path. I believe that's just another way to get over there if you need to change anything, which we don't need to do. Okay, good. All right, so we added it to the page. I believe it's not showing because I don't have a record type yet, is the issue. Otherwise it would display right there, but let's hit save and then activate. And I'm going to activate it as the org-wide default. So I'm going to click this button here, assign as org default. And I'm going to do it on phone and desktop. Okay, and click save. All right. So when I built this out, the issue was I couldn't see it at first. And we might have that same issue. Let's take a peek. Okay, it's not, oh, there it is. It was showing. Okay, so the issue is the runners we've built already don't have a record type. So if we do this, click a new runner. Oh, actually, is that right? Let's just do test. There we go. So all the runners I built ahead of time do not have a record type. So if I build anybody new, since that's the only record type I have, it's going to be built under that record type. So what I should do is go back and delete these because I won't be able to see it. So I'd have to rebuild those people. But you can see here the progress bar. And then what we need to do now is have our total miles as it updates and gets higher. We need it to automatically update our progress. Okay. So we don't have to manually click this and update everything. All right. So I'm going to do the shortcut version. I'm going to show you guys this is how I originally created the updating and awarding badges, was a process builder. That's in my original org, but I just recently redid it in a flow. And I'm going to show you guys really quick how to do it in a flow. And it's going to look more intimidating than it actually is. Okay. So this is my flow. Okay. It gets triggered anytime the total miles is changed. Okay. On the runner. What happens next is a decision. I'm just going to show you this real quick, and then I'll show you how to build it. There's a decision at each different mile marker, starting at 10, 20, all the way up to 100. From there, it gets routed to an assignment. All the assignments are the same thing. It just changes the number. If it's above 40, okay. it's going to assign the 40-mile progress value. And then it's going to update the progress with that value we assign, okay? So that's what we're going to kind of build. And we're not going to build out all 10 right here, but I'll show you guys how to do it. Okay. I'll show you how to do it real quick. And it's a lot of copy and paste. So that's the nice thing. We're going to go to setup. Go to get to flows in setup. And when you get to flows, we're going to create a new flow. So this is not in any of the documentation, guys, because I need to get all these different screenshots for you. And we're going to do a record triggered flow. All right, so what we're going to update is on the runner object. Not when it's created, because when you create the runner, they're not going to have any values. So it's only when it's updated. Okay. And we're going to have a condition. So only one. And we're going to do total miles. And we're not going to do equals a certain value or greater than a certain value. We're just going to check every time it's changed. Okay. And then is changed. Is it false? Is it true? We want true. Total miles is changed equals true. So every time that value changes, when you enter new mileage entries for a person, it's going to check, hey, what value is it at? And it's going to update it for us. Okay. We can't change this because of what we chose here. So we'll just leave it there. And we're actually going to, even though it's the same record we're on, I was having issues when I built it out using fast field updates. So I'm going to keep it here, actions and related records. And it'll allow us to post in Chatter. If they hit certain milestones, we can add a little notification, or we can award the badge and all that good stuff from this same flow. So we're going to leave it here, action and related records. Click done. All right. So the first thing we went into was the decision. Okay. And we're going to build out just 2 of these. Okay. So I'm going to show you total miles 10, total miles 20. All right. So, where'd it go? There we go. Click that first plus, find the decision object. Okay. And let me see what I called this. Total miles progress update is what I called it. Total miles. Okay. I would add a description, but I kind of want to go through this. On the label, total miles greater than 10. Okay. Actually, I want it greater than or equal to 10, because if they hit 10 exactly, it should do the same thing. So what do I want to pick for the condition? I want to pick our current record, which is our runner. Total miles is greater than or equal to 10. Okay. And we only want to do that if the update, okay, if it is specific to that requirement. Okay, we don't need to do it all the time, only if that's met. So we have that one built out. I'm just going to hit plus, and I'm basically going to create the same thing, same numbers, but change the 10 to a 20. So I'm going to say total miles greater than equal to 20. Okay, pick the same field here. Total miles equals greater than or equal to 20. Okay. All right. So in the end, you're gonna have to build this out 10 times. Okay. But we're gonna stop here today. And if you noticed, I put it upside down. Okay, I want it the lowest value at the bottom, and then I want 100 at the top because it's going to go through these in order. Okay, whatever's at the top first. So you want to make sure it's in decreasing order when we do this. So I'm going to click done there. And I have 3 paths. Okay. Let's take a look at my completed one. I'm going to go all the way over here. So what I'm going to do is make an assignment element. Okay, and we'll create this variable in a second. And we have to choose the exact name of our values from our pick list here. Okay. So I'm going to start here at this end. And this is what you get to copy and paste a bunch of times. And click assignment. Assign progress less than 10 miles. Because this is my default. If it's not above 10, it's between 0 and like 9.9. This is what I want it to do. Okay. Here in the variable, we need a pick list variable because that's what we're going to be updating. Okay. So I'm going to do new resource. Click variable. And then your naming convention can be whatever it is. I've learned I'd put var at the beginning of any variable. Okay, so this is my variable for the progress field. Okay. I would add a description. But here, if you did text, it wouldn't let you update the pick list variable. So you want to choose pick list. Okay, because that's the kind of field we're going to update. I don't need it for input or output because I'm only using this in the flow itself. Okay, so my var progress equals. Okay, and this is where you need the exact value. So if we look at our values, if you guys followed along with me. Okay, our progress values. It needs to match exactly. So I'm going to copy that for my flow. Less than 10 miles. Done. Okay. So what I can do here, which is really nice, I click on it, I click copy. Okay, I can just copy and paste. Okay, but I just need to change a few things here. So first thing I'm going to change is the name. And then I'm going to delete that. Okay. And then the value here, I believe, is just 10 miles is what I want. Yep. Okay, so I just need to change the name and the API name so it makes more sense. And then change the value here. Done. Okay, what can I do? Copy, paste, same thing. Change the name. Change it to 20. Okay, change my pick list variable to 20. That matches my name. Click done. Okay, so now no matter if it's under 10 miles, over 10 miles, over 20 miles, okay, it's going to get assigned a value. All right, and the last thing we need to do because it's a action and related records one, we need to do an update. Okay, and we're actually going to update the triggering record. So we're going to click that first one. I'm going to say update progress field. On record. Okay, and we're going to use the runner record that triggered the flow, so we can leave that there. Okay, and we're going to do this all the time. And what are we going to update? Progress. And the value we're going to put in is our variable we just created. Variable progress. Okay. And that's it. We're going to click done. Okay. So when you do the real one, you need to have 10 of these built out or 11 of these assignments. So it's going to look really wide. But all you have to do is change those two little things on there and you'll have all the values covered. But we're going to stop there. I'm going to click save. Runner progress. Update, name my flow. Okay. Yeah. All right. And just click save after you name it. And I'm going to activate it. Okay. So once you name it, activate it, ready to go. You can do debug. I just want to debug it live. I want to see if it works. So I'm going to go to a runner here. I'm going to hit refresh just so it updates everything. Hopefully it's picking up the new flow. All right. So on my test runner that has the progress bar visible, okay, let's add some mile entries. And I'm just going to do increments of 10. So when I do 10, and I click save, boom, updated. Let's do it again. 10, save, boom, updated. So that's what we want, right? Every time we get increments of 10, it should chug along here, okay, all the way to 100. And I just want to show you a couple things real quick. If we do 50, I hit save. Okay, remember we added the guidance for success. Here's what we added. Okay, if I update to 100 and click save. Okay, we were expecting the confetti, right? But sometimes it doesn't work. It kind of depends on where you update it at. Okay, we do see our guidance for success here. But let me try this. If I click 90, and then if I click 100 and I do it this way, now the confetti comes.